So I'm here tonight for the Steve Prescott Foundation charity dinner. I'm joined by the captain of the first ever Leeds Rhinos Super League team, Neil Harmon. How are you doing this evening, Neil?
I'm doing fantastic now. It's actually kicked off, thanks.
Yeah, so tell us why we're here then.
We're here to raise awareness for the Steve Prescott Foundation and also to raise funds for the Everest trip that we're doing in just over 3 weeks' time.
Brilliant. So you've been joined by all your teammates from 20 years ago. How does that feel, reuniting with them all again?
It's good. It's good looking at some have aged better than others.
Clearly yourself, you've aged better.
Oh, thank you. I haven't seen a lot of the lads. I've seen some of them more than others, but I haven't seen some of them 20 years. So it's really good to have a catch up with them tonight.
So how was it back then, 20 years ago? What's the difference between then and now?
Well, for a start, there was no smartphone, so it was a lot easier to get around, get away with a lot more probably. But I think the difference is now it's just so much. I mean, every year that the game goes on, it goes more professional. And these guys, they're just all professional athletes. We thought we was back 20 years ago, but we're nothing compared to what the guys are today.
So what have you been doing since you've hung up your boots and you've finished rugby league? What have you been doing since then?
Just making ends meet. I've got my hand in a bit of property, both abroad and overseas and in the UK. And at the moment, I've been working for a friend of mine who's got a company called Octane. Yeah. So they're a fuel company, and I've been doing a bit of work with them guys. So yeah, just keeping myself busy.
And what do you miss most about the sport?
The camaraderie, really. People ask me all the time, do you miss playing? Well, not really.
You don't miss playing?
I don't miss waking up feeling like I've been run over by a bus, no. But you miss the action, and when you're in the stand, your mind's saying, yeah, I can do that, but your body's saying, no, you can't.
So rugby league is a really challenging game in itself. It's a challenging sport. So you've set yourself up for a new challenge, which is to climb Mount Everest. So tell me a bit about why you're doing that.
Bit of a glutton for punishment, I think. We did. I've done quite a few challenges with the Steve Prescott Foundation. I love the atmosphere of the place, of them guys, and I love what they do and why they're doing it. And especially when Steve was still alive, doing it with him. And we did Kilimanjaro last year, and this was obviously the next step. The minute they mentioned we're doing Everest, my name was in the hat. I had to do it.
Okay, so what obstacles do you think you're going to encounter during the climb?
The hardest thing is the mind games. Your mind plays funny tricks with you, and a lot of people say, well, you're just walking. Well, yeah, it is a walk, but it's a long walk, and it's going very high. And the altitude sickness, once that kicks in, it's very, very difficult to get rid of it, as a lot of people experienced in Kilimanjaro. I was probably one of the lucky ones that I very rarely got. I don't think I experienced a lot of altitude sickness, so again, I count myself as lucky more than anything else, because it could hit anybody with any fitness any time. So the altitude sickness is a big one. You just got to keep an eye on everybody else around the group, make sure everybody's talking to each other and feeling all right. And generally within a big group, you always find people are down at different times, but there's others who are up, so you kind of balances itself out. And it's similar to the playing. It's a great camaraderie, and it's a great crack doing it as a group, which is what I like.
And how are you preparing for it mentally and physically?
Mentally and physically, the physical side is easy really. You just got to train. There's no hiding it. There's no shortcuts. You've just got to put the hours in on the treadmill, hours on the mountains, just hours and hours of walking up hills.
So how does the public at home get involved and donate?
Well, the Prescott Foundation is pretty wide on social media. If you type in SPF anywhere on social media, you'll find Steve Prescott Foundation.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
So I'm here with Adrian Morley, one of the original members of the first ever Leeds Rhinos Super League teams. Adrian, how does it feel being reunited with your other teammates after 20 years?
Feels great, as you just mentioned, I've not seen some of these boys for 20 years. Some of the boys I do keep in touch with, but it's great that we've come together now, and when you play a team sport like rugby league, you've got that bond with them players for life, and it was great, seeing them, and I'm sure we'll have a few beers and a few catch-ups later on.
Barry, when I was younger, everybody used to sing, Barry's Gonna Get You. What is that all about?
Well, when I played, I enjoyed the physical side of it, and when they shouted it and sung it, I did my best to make sure they got what they wanted, and had a glorious 10 years at the Leeds Rhinos, and it's a very special place to me and lots of people like me, and that's why we've got such a great night planned tonight.
And what was your proudest memory being in the Leeds Rhinos Super League team?
I had lots of them as a player, but the 10 years I spent after, I got just as much fulfilment out of bringing the young players out. I was in charge of the academy and brought players like Stevie Ward and Liam Sutcliffe. Stevie, who I know you know very well, he was a very poor imitation of Barrie McDermott when he's got a microphone in his hand. And doing a great job with Stevie, only kidding, my man.
Sure, he'll love you saying that.
It's a great club, and I treasure and value every memory I have got. If I had to pick three, it would be the three that I managed to get the medals for, which were the Challenge Cup in '99, the Grand Final in '04, and the World Club Challenge in '05.
So last year you climbed Kilimanjaro. This year you're attempting the challenge of Mount Everest. So tell us, what obstacles do you see ahead?
It's always a challenge. Anything that the Steve Prescott Foundation undertake has always got an element to it that makes it just a little bit more tougher. And I think last year I struggled along with Moz, Big Moz, who I'm sure you'll speak to. The big fellas really struggled because we couldn't get enough oxygen in.
Yeah.
So it was a mental and physical test and challenge that I don't think I was ready for. And this year, with it being twice the length of time, the distance we're walking during the days is a little bit longer as well. So I really enjoy setting those challenges and setting those little goals and peaks and spikes to my month. Every couple of weeks I like something to do, whether it's a run or a walk or a dinner or something like that. But I think it keeps my stability, my mental stability in the right place.
So Francis Cummins, you were the youngest member of the team, so how was that?
Oh, it was good. It was good. Coming into Leeds, I was 16.
Wow.
So I was apprentice. There was a few of the lads who were apprentice with, and to get into the first team was a bit of a shock. So
how did you feel when that actually happened?
Well, it's a bit scary because you imagine 12 months before we're at school and I was watching some of these players playing for Leeds, and a couple of my childhood heroes in Gary Schofield, Ellery Hanley. So to play in the same team was something special.
That must have been an incredible experience to be watching and then be part of it as well.
It was, and we were lucky that my first year we went to Wembley as well, so It's a bit dream come true stuff, really.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Definitely Jim Fallon. My mum fancied him, my girlfriend fancied him, everybody fancied Jim Fallon.
Best looking guy was Jim Fallon.
Then and now, it's easy, it's me.
I'm not sure, Graham Mulroyd used to fancy himself.
All right,
because he had lovely curly locks. He's not here tonight, but he's got no locks anymore. He's all bald, so he used to fancy himself as a bit of a looker.
Hardest hitter that I played against was Chris Odlinski.
Okay.
That played for Wigan.
Yeah.
He was a full-back and I was a full-back. But he was a good, hard, tough player.
The hardest hitter, I'd say, probably Barrie McDermott. He used to hit him hard, Baz.
When I played at Leeds in the late 90s, we had Adrian Morley, who's here tonight, Anthony Farrell, Darren Fleary, Terry Newton, and Mark Glanville, with Martin Micella coming on off the bench in 98, 99. Some really tough lads, and I like playing with them because if I started a fight that I wasn't too confident I'd win in, I know them lads would have me back.
Some of the biggest hits came from Matt Schultz, who was a tough player.
Me and my good friend Mick Shaw, he's passed away now, but me and him were top trainers.
Teddy used to really have a dig, but to be fair, there was not a great deal of slackers. Barrie McDermott used to be probably the biggest slacker, but the toughest trainer, I'd say. Do you know what? The Gibbon twins who are here tonight, they trained extremely hard, so I'd say the twinnies.
Well, Moz was the hardest hitter, the biggest drinker, the worst professional, the least prepared professional I've ever come across, and I presented Moz with virtually his last Salford jersey, and it was a real special time for me because he's obviously a great mate and I think the world of him, but I said that when he was a kid, when I first met him, he used to screech around the corner in his blue Carlton car, grab some kit out the back that was always stinking, the wrong year, the wrong brand and make, and he'd get on and he'd bladder everybody in training because he was that fit. And as I was telling this story, I could see all the Salford's players just nodding away, because apparently he still does the same thing now.
In the first team, Ellery Hanley was something special. I was 17, Ellery would be about 33, and I could run.
Wow.
I was quick and I was fast, but I used to have to train with him. Alan Tate was very good on his feet. It was a strange sort of time, because they were full time, but they didn't train twice a day like they do now.